Grant, thanks. And now let's send it out to Brittany Copeland is in Salt Lake City this morning. Hey there, Brittany.
Good morning. I'm live at Prestman Auto, and you know we've got a winter storm on Monday. We're expecting another one on Thursday. So in that kind of conditions, your car needs a little TLC. We're talking about winterizing your car to keep you safe on the roadways. I have a live report coming up.
Welcome back. Of course, Utah's winters that can wreak havoc on your car.
Oh, yeah.
You got the snow, the ice, freezing temperatures, all making it difficult for an engine to work properly.
We saw a little bit of that just on Monday, right? So some of those cars not quite make it through all the...
Some slide off, some bold tires, maybe.
Snow and ice. So that's why it's important to get your car prepared for this time of year. Brittany Copeland live at Prestman Auto to explain about winterizing your car. I think, Brittany, we all kind of know that you got to knock the snow off, you got to make sure your tires have air pressure in them, but what else do we do?
First off, you got to look under the hood and check out the engine, because that's what obviously keeps the car going. That's about as far as my knowledge goes of cars. This is Carl, and he's my backup. You're the shop foreman at Prestman Auto. And what do people need to look for with the winter months and all this brutal cold weather we're having?
Well, the basic things you want to check are your wipers, your battery, hoses, belt. You want to keep your washer fluid full and have the correct antifreeze mixture. Belts can be checked real simply by just checking that they're not cracking or very stiff. You don't want them cold blowout and have antifreeze everywhere.
This is in good shape then?
This one is, yes. This is also a good belt. If this belt was to be bad, you would see a lot of cracks in it or missing some of the channels. You want to make sure that's good. You don't want to be left on the side of the road. Battery, you want to check your terminal tightness. Make sure you don't have corrosion on the battery. Make sure that you've got a good charge or a good battery in there. A good cold snap will just leave you stranded.
I've had incidents, Carl, where my antifreeze has not come out because it's literally frozen, and that could be a problem, can it?
Very big problem. They recommend a 50-50 mixture on antifreeze. If it freezes, your heater won't work, your water pump won't turn. If it freezes hard enough, it can actually crack your block and ruin your engine.
So the key component here is if you're taking care of it now, you're saving yourself a lot of money down the line.
Don't have to worry about it later, and you're not going to leave you stranded.
Also, the tires are something really important that we have to talk about, but we'll do that in the next segment. Snow tires, tire chains, all of those things that I don't know too much about.
Perfect.
Thank you for being the expert this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, let's send it back to you in the studio.
Love that. We're all getting an education today, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
Brittany
no
Copeland
doubt.
live in Salt Lake getting us ready for winter. We'll see you in just a little bit, Brittany. If it weren't so darn cold, it'd be beautiful out there, right?
Right.
A little chilly, though.
It is a little chilly.
27 degrees right now at the airport. Meantime, at 6:13, talking about winter. Of course, Utah's winters can wreak havoc on your car.
And that's why it is important to get your car prepared for this time of year. It's like my dad talking to me, you know? Get your car ready.
All right, better get it ready.
Brittany Copeland live at Prestman Auto to explain how to winterize your car.
Yeah, Laurie, my dad also tells me the same thing. He actually was a service manager for over 30 years, and apparently I did not learn enough. He'd be upset at me at this point. But what I do know is this is an all-season tire, and snow tires can make a big difference around this time of the year. There's been a lot of accidents, especially with that winter storm that hit on Monday, a lot of slide-off, so that can prevent some of those incidents. And this is Carl. You're the shop foreman at Prestman Auto. What are the differences between the all-season and the snow tires, and how much of a difference can it really make?
A huge difference. All-season tires are developed for year-round use. It's a harder compound to give you longevity and mileage. The snow tire is a softer compound that they actually add siping to. And siping is when they actually cut the tire and put grooves in it. It's for extra traction. This is an all-season. This is a snow. So you've got the difference in it. The snow tires wear out a lot faster because they're a softer compound for the colder weather. But as far as ice, snow, traction, you want a snow tire.
That's an SUV, but what if you're like me? I have a front-wheel drive car.
I would run snow tires. If you're running an SUV, an all-season tire does great because it gives you longevity, mileage, and performance in an all-wheel drive. You don't have to worry about spin-offs. If you've got a front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive car, you would want snow tires for better traction, better stopping, and everything.
Wiper blades are also very important to get the ice and the snow off and just to keep you safe. You need to be able to see out there.
Big difference in them. This is a standard blade. It has areas you see snow can get packed into them and stuff. They tend to not want to touch the windshield after that. This is a beam style or winter blade. You can see the curvature to it. It actually will stay to your windshield in the curve of the windshield. It cleans better. and it doesn't get the buildup of ice underneath it.
All right, Carl, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Of course, we'll be talking about many more things in regards to winterizing your car. Actually, also, there's the components of keeping things in your trunk. There's some safety things you need to make sure you have. Also, guys, by the way, these snow tires, you want to make sure you take them off after the winter months because they do not last as long. So you want to make sure you get your money's worth because they're not cheap, but definitely worth it during this time of year. Back to you.
Yeah, I've had snow tires before. They are worth it.
They are. They really make a huge difference, and especially anybody who's ever moved here from a different location knows those rear-wheel drive cars can just spin and spin and spin. Brittany, thanks. Appreciate it. We'll see you in just a little bit. All right, Grant, thanks. Well, you've got your new heavy coat. You've dug up those old Christmas decorations from the basement. But is your car ready for the winter months that come along very soon? Brittany Copeland live giving us some ideas this morning. Brittany.
Andrew, this is something we all need to have in our car during the winter months. It's emergency kits, and I have a live report coming up from Prestman Auto giving you some details on things that you need to have with you in this cold weather.
Brittany Copeland live this morning at Prestman Auto with ways to winterize your car.
Hi, Lori. Winterizing your car doesn't just involve the tires and the engine. It also involves supplies and an emergency kit in your trunk. It's very key, especially in the state of Utah when you're driving around on the highway and you maybe don't see a gas station for 15, 20 miles. That's definitely something that happens around here.
Exactly. By having the emergency essentials in your car, you can solve a lot of problems if you already got stuck. Some of the things that you should keep in there, obviously a good set of jumper cables or even a little jumper pack like this, first aid kit, some cold winter apparel, snow boots, snow gloves, blanket, any sort of, if you're already stuck, things that protect you on the side of the road, hazard sign, cone, flares. Now obviously those can be very dangerous, so if you don't feel comfortable with that, maybe using the cone or the hazard sign. One of the things that you should look at is like keeping, water and some snacks in your car.
Nice choice, Rice Krispie treats.
Especially the Cocoa Krispies. One thing that people should keep in their car also is a spare phone charger. You get stuck, you keep that phone charged up by plugging it in. Throw all this in a bag. You're all set for if any of those emergencies happens. One of the things that I would make sure you do though is keep your car full of a half tank of gas. If you don't have these things, a half tank of gas can solve a lot of problems till help arrives. Could be your only heat source, could be anything like that of that nature. So.
Good idea for the Christmas season. Dan, you were mentioning this as well. This could be some Christmas gifts, an ice scraper, maybe a little shovel to put in your trunk. This could be some good stocking stuffers for maybe some of the teenagers that are just learning how to drive.
Exactly.
A good thing to give them for the holiday season, also to keep them safe out there on the roads. Back to you.
Just make sure you don't only give them the ice scraper. It's like, Merry Christmas, here's an ice scraper. Make sure you...
Yeah, you need a few more items.
Thoughtfully.
Definitely.
Like you say,
First aid
stocking
kit, too.
stuffer.
How about
Great
that?
ideas. Good stuff, Brittany Copeland. Keeping us safe this winter, that's very important.